Hey, welcome to the show. Yes, indeed. We have Andrey Bustamante with us, a very proud papa today. And this is the Andrey Bustamante Real Estate Show, brought to you by GuaranteedSale.com. Free home evaluations in under 30 seconds. Can you believe that? Accurate, local, up-to-date, and without an agenda to try to go out and, raise money from a whole bunch of people selling the information to, like some of those national sites you've been going to. You can always contact Andrey during the week at 888-785-0440, AndreyBustamante.com. But if you want to talk to Andrey right now, if you've got a real estate question, a marketing your home question, something about buying, selling, whatever, 855-297-9696. Text us at 21232. Or you could do something really cool, and that is you can go on our new News 96.5 app, Andrey, and what they do is they go down to a button that says open mic.
I need to check that out, man.
It's really cool. And so what they do is if they say, well, it's Father's Day, we're wrapping, we're taking Dad out to lunch, we don't really have time to sit on hold on the phone, so how do I get my question to Andrey? They simply hit open mic.
On their phones.
On their phone, and it records their message. And it records, hey, Andrey, I am buying a home in Windermere. How much will it cost? Okay? And then they've got all hour to do what they're going to do, and you'll hear the question from Tim, our new engineer. He'll just play it on the air.
You know what I like about that?
After he screens it.
You know what I like about that, Rob, is
the
fact that it's actually safer. Because we all know, you're not supposed to, but everybody texts and drives. And obviously, you're not supposed to do that, and hopefully the majority of us do so when we're stopped at a light somewhere. But what I like about this is it's a lot easier. It doesn't take your focus off the road. You can just stop over for a second, record it, and then you send it off, just as if you were talking on the phone.
Yeah, and the thing is you get it out, and that way you don't have to hold the phone up to your ear, even if you're at your house or you're hanging around with the pool with the kids. Don't be distracted from the kids.
No.
But now you're listening to the radio, and you're going to hear your voice come up and go, whoop, that's my question. Do we have an example? Oh, and also for you dads out there or for your kids out there, call or go on the app, hit open mic, and say, hey, Dad, I love you.
Happy Father's
Day.
And
we will run that as well because we're trying to pay tribute to you dads this week. And I got to tell you, Orlando, I'm a little disappointed in you because we haven't had a lot of people wish Dad a happy Father's Day, and it's a free app. And all you got to do is go on the phone and the News 96.5 app, available in the iStore, the Apple Store, or available in the Android store, and just go ahead and download the app. Doesn't cost you anything.
Okay, so they have to download the app. It's not just going straight to News 96.5.
No, you got to go ahead and download the app on your phone. But you're going to find
What's the name of the app? Do you know?
It's called News 96.5.
Okay, we'll definitely do that for next week.
It's a great app, and you can get news on there. You can get traffic reports. You can get updated traffic reports. Let's say that tomorrow morning you're going to be going to work. Mm-hmm. You pre-program 5 or 6 destinations that you always go to, and say tomorrow morning you put the driving feature, traffic, and it'll give you your prompt of what area you want to go to. Well, I'm going to go to my office. Okay, it gives you up-to-date and up-to-the-second traffic right there on your smartphone.
If there's a traffic jam or accident, you just take an alternate route.
Yep.
That is awesome. Well,
it's custom-made.
Before we get into real estate news and all that other crazy stuff that we talk about each and every week, first and foremost, I want to wish my father a happy Father's Day. Dad, I know you're at home listening like you do every Sunday. I love you. Thank for giving me life, for making me the man I am today, for teaching me morals, ethics, and all the family values that you've instilled in us. Thank you. I love you, and I'll see you in a couple hours. Rob, happy Father's Day to you.
Well, thank you very much. I'm very, very blessed to have not only my stepdaughter, but also a young man who thinks of me as a father. He's got, like 2 or 3 men in his life that have helped him out over the years, and I was able to touch base with him this year after not seeing him for over 10 years. So
it's
incredible. Been a great year for Father's Day type activities. And you have got 2 or 3 kids now running around the house.
I have 3 and counting. My wife wants one more. I think I'm parked on third base here.
Well, I'll tell you what, that and they're in their best years because they're real little right now, and that's when you do the videos and everything, man.
Oh, absolutely, man. Tell me, it was hard to get out of bed this morning. My wife brought them all to bed, wishing me a Father's Day, happy Father's Day. And actually, those of you that will get a chance to go on our YouTube site, I'm actually wearing a tie. So my wife yesterday at midnight, we were going to bed, and here's an awesome tie. So she got this idea. We were at a conference about a month and a half ago. We were hanging out with Barbara Corcoran, Glenn Beck, and everybody. And one of the gentlemen there had a tie like this. So he had a picture of his daughter on his tie. And I looked at that, and I'm like, oh man, I need to get one of those. So my wife took a mental note, and she gave me this awesome tie. So, baby, thank you so much.
And it's got the same picture about, 100, 150 times on that tie?
It's all over.
It's beautiful.
That way I never forget my kids. And, sometimes I'm scrambling. This darn Android sometimes locks up on me. So when I'm meeting with a client, I'm bragging about my kids. This is the easiest way. I don't have to look for pictures. They're right on my tie. So thank you, baby, for this awesome present. And
what a great idea.
To all the fathers out there that are listening to this show, I wish you and your families an awesome, awesome, happy Father's Day. You're a blessing to us all. And, to all the fathers out there that make a positive impact, thank you for everything that you do, not only for your families, but for our communities. There are certainly a lot of people that have impacted my lives. And I'm sure when it comes to impact, if people we're gonna label, a man that has impacted their lives, I'm sure, Rob, that you'd have a lot of kids out there because you're a great man and you've certainly impacted a lot of lives.
We did have occasion, and not to take away from your time, but we did have occasion to be house parents for over 200 kids over a 4-year period right here in town.
Wow.
Those are kids who were going through a drug rehab program, and it was non-residential to keep down the cost of the families. So we took our house in Mount Dora and converted the locks backwards so you couldn't get out. And my neighbors love me a lot. And we had some of the greatest kids in the world who had suffered. They were drug addicts, and some of them had committed some crimes. And we opened our house to them, and 9 kids a night stayed in our house. And no TV, no radio.
The same 9 kids every night?
Mostly the same. We got quite attached to some of them. They'd switch some out from time to time, but it was a great deal. So, yeah, you get out there and you volunteer in your community and help kids, be a mentor in the school, be a guardian ad litem in your court system, whatever you can do to help kids. It's going to assure you a better tomorrow because those are the kids that are not going to turn out to be criminals. And those are the kids who enjoy homes. And if you don't have a real estate guy helping you, you don't have a home. So it all kind of ties in.
Absolutely. You know something I've been following lately quite a bit, and my belief in life is I always want to get better, and my vision is to always positively impact people's lives. And when it comes to real estate, ever since I got into this business about 10 years ago, I said I want to be the absolute best real estate expert, around. When it's all said and done, I want to go down as, hey, this guy made a difference. He changed or helped revolutionize the real estate industry, and he made an impact. He just wasn't another licensed, card holder around. This guy actually made an impact. So I saw a lot of people that had done this prior to me, and I started learning from them. But when it comes to being a dad, it's a little bit different because you're taught how to be a dad from your dad, and so there's obviously good and bad there, and luckily I was fortunate enough to have an awesome dad, but there are a lot of kids out there that don't have dads growing up, so it's like, who do you turn to? So what I did lately is I said to myself, I want to be the absolute best dad possible. So there's a Facebook page by Tony Dungy called All Pro Dad.
Oh my gosh.
That is the coolest thing in the world. Not only do they give you tips on how to be a better dad, but they actually give you tips on how to be a better husband, better son, better father. You name it. They give you tips on how to overall be a better person, but it's called All Pro Dad. It teaches you how to talk to your kids, how to reprimand them the right way. So it's awesome. So to all you fathers out there, your father tip of the day, if you didn't know about this, check out All Pro Dad and, phone in over the next couple of weeks and let me know if you actually got some value out of that, because I certainly have. It's neat.
Cool. Very, very cool. All right, 17 minutes after the hour. When we come back, we'll be talking about market conditions, what's buying, what's selling, where in the area it is hot to buy right now and not. And we will go all through your real estate questions. You could text us at 21232. You could use the smartphone app, or you just simply put open mic and send out a shout to your dad and say, oh, by the way, Andre, I was wondering how I can sell my house quicker. 855-297-9696. That is our toll-free telephone number. That seems kind of old-fashioned way to get a hold of us these days. And happy Father's Day. We'll be back after 3 big things you need to know.
Hey, this is Nick from Orlando. I just want to say happy Father's Day, Dad. I love you. Couldn't ask for a better dad.
And you can do that, too. All you need to do is go on the all-new News 96.5 app on your Android or on your iPhone. And all you need to do is on open mic, just press that. We record it here on the computer, and we'll be playing back your shout-outs to Dad and or your questions to Andrey Bustamante. Welcome back to the Andrey Bustamante Real Estate Show, brought to you by GuaranteedSale.com. Free home valuations in under 30 seconds. The office number, 888-785-0440. Andre with a Y, Bustamante.com. And if you want to call the show the old-fashioned way, it's 855-297-9696, or text us at 21232, 21232. How do you do that? Simply on your messaging service or your messaging app. On your smartphone or your tablet, just put 21232 in the address line. There's no name. There's no address. That is the address, 21232. That goes to MoGreet, a new computer service. Great, great service. Thank you so much. Here is Andrey Bustamante with a lot of real estate papers in front of him.
Absolutely. Just a couple. We've had a great week. This past week in the office has been insane. And, certainly what's happening in the real estate market right now, Rob, and for anybody out there listening is, there's a tremendous amount of confidence. The market is rebounding. The international buyers are buying. If you're on the market to sell, now's a great time to do it. Folks, if you're looking to buy, now is a great, great time to do it. There are lots of properties that are hitting the market. Luckily, we control a lot of the inventory here in Central Florida, so you actually have an opportunity to check out properties way before they even hit the market. So I encourage you to visit BestOrlandoMLSsearch.com. We're loading properties there. As soon as we're getting them, we're actually loading them there. On some of them, we're actually backed up about a week or so because we don't have pictures and we don't have all the marketing data for them. But this week was awesome for us. We actually picked up multiple listings this week, a lot in the higher price points. So I think it's time that the market really listens to the marketing programs that we've put together. Our international luxury home sale system has really, really picked up some steam. And, for those of you that haven't had a chance to look into that, if you're on the market to sell a higher-end property, I encourage you, visit my website at andrebustamante.com. The first major video the big video that you see on there, that's one of the tools that we're using right now to attract the international market. A lot of Brazilian buyers, a lot of Chinese buyers, a lot of British buyers, Canadians, Venezuelans, you name it, from all over the world. Buyers are buying here. A lot of them are actually buying sight unseen. We're still taking advantage and still marketing your property locally, statewide, nationwide, and we've had a lot of success with that as well, with a lot of buyers from California, New York, Pittsburgh, buying without ever even walking foot into these properties. So people have caught on, and they're listening to this show, obviously. So we just picked up a $1.3 million Mediterranean palace in Celebration. We'll have more details for you in the coming weeks. But if you're interested in any of these properties that are coming soon on the market, I encourage you to sign up at BestOrlandoMLSsearch.com. So that's a $1.3 million house. Celebration, we picked up another $1 million house there. Baldwin Park, 1.1. Lake Nona, $330,000 listing in Eagle Creek. Beautiful pool home out there. The Sanctuary, beautiful condominium tower here in downtown Orlando. Single family home here in downtown Orlando, going for about $279,000. Auburndale Estates, awesome property down in Auburndale, Polk County. Great, great, great community. So we just picked up that property yesterday. It's probably going to go in the high fours. Indian Wells, it's going to go in the high, probably 140s to 150s. Davenport, around 159,000. And this is just a small glimpse of the properties that we will be loading on the market here in the coming days. So if any of this interests you, or if you're looking, if you're looking to sell and you want us to analyze your property and see how we can market it better, because perhaps you haven't had the great experience with realtors in the past. We don't really think like realtors. We think like marketers first. Mm-hmm. We happen to be in the real estate business, but the overall goal is to market your property to the most amount of people, have it appeal to the most amount of people, and based on that, you're going to get great results.
All right, very good. And again, we talk about the importance of marketing when it comes to Andrey Bustamante, really leading the league here in Central Florida and actually working with some of the top people in the nation on the fact that you are marketing a $100, $200, $300 million product. I know you loved it. I know it's where you raised your kids. I know that if you're on the other side of it and you're buying it, that's where you want to raise your family and have the American dream. But marketing is what it's all about. That is what's going to move that piece of property up against the big developers, because they're building, they're marketing, they're taking out the big ads, the big radio stuff. You got to make sure that your home, even though you're just one house, you got to make sure it's getting the same representation.
And you're looking at it the right way, Rob. It's certainly a product. And, there's a couple of things that I would encourage to sellers. Please don't hire an agent just based on commission. I had a gentleman in my office this week, virtually crying because he had hired, discount brokers and discount attorneys and discount this and discount that. The only great decision he had made is he had married an unbelievable wife. And, she was there by his side, covering every base possible and supporting him and keeping him positive. But other than that, he had always hired discount people. He came into my office and he said, Andrey, I lost a lot because I hired a discount attorney. I lost a ton because I hired a discount broker. And then first question he asked me, he said, can you do this for less commission? I said, do you want to make the same mistake again?
Yeah.
You don't. You really, really don't.
Buy the best and only cry once.
Exactly.
All right, it's 11:30. We're going to take a break for news, traffic, and weather. We'll be back with more of Andrey Bustamante coming up on News 96.5. Hey, welcome back to the show. I want to remind you this is the Andrey Bustamante Real Estate Show, brought to you by GuaranteedSale.com. Free home evaluations in under 30 seconds. You can give Andrey a call anytime at 888-785-0440. Andrey with a Y, Bustamante.com. AndreyBustamante.com. You hear Sean Hannity talking about him. You know that. Also want to remind you of a couple things. If the weather goes a little crazy this afternoon like it did yesterday, our weather team will be on it. We've got everybody on standby right now for this afternoon. Also, we are on high alert all weekend long, monitoring all the new developments in Iraq. The latest is that the ISIS is now within 50 miles of Baghdad, and that resonates a lot with Americans, so we are watching the situation, and we'll keep on top of it. Also, a very special edition of Central Florida Morning News tomorrow morning starting at 5 with Joe Kelly, and most of the focus of the show will be the latest on what is happening in Iraq and what this country is and is not doing in the wake of all of this unrest over there in the Middle East. So we'll keep on top of that for you. We do have ships right now in the area, as you know. All right, let's get back to Andrey Bustamante and what's going on in real estate and what kind of homes are for sale. Is it a buyer's market, a seller's market? What are the interest rates right now? What are your options? What's going on out there?
Well, I think, one thing to understand is, the market right now is quite stable. On the way here, I was thinking, what advice do I want to give to people this week? Of course, we already have a lot of these things prepared, but I said, is there any other message I want to tell people? And the biggest thing I want to tell you is when you're sitting down with family at dinner today or your barbecue or whatever during the week conversations you may have at work, when people ask you how the real estate market is doing, you could simply tell them it all depends on price points. If you have a $80,000 home to sell, those houses usually sell a little bit quicker. and there's less inventory in that market. But as you get into the higher price points, Orlando median price point is about $165,000. So if you get, the closer you get into that price point, the 200s, the 250s, there's a lot more houses, a lot more. There's a greater percentage of those selling, so the absorption rate there is a lot higher.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you go into higher price points, the 500s, the 800s, 900s, and millions, those houses take longer to sell. So don't look at the market as a whole. Look at the market as, the geographical, but also look at it in terms of price points. So when people ask you how the real estate market is doing, don't be quick to say, "Oh, it's doing great. The market is wonderful. Houses are flying off the market." That's not necessarily the case, folks. It all depends on the price points. The good thing, and I would say this, if someone is asking you and you want to be involved in a conversation this week in regards to the real estate market, tell them consumer confidence is high. Interest rates are still, surprisingly, at all-time lows. The mortgage process seems to be getting a little bit easier for a lot of folks. There are government programs out there like VA loans where you can buy a home with no money down. Ask my client, Allison and John.
Mm-hmm.
They just bought a home right now. We had the opportunity of representing them in the sale of their property and got them $30,000 more than they expected on that home.
Wow.
And got them a brand new Lennar property. So they were extremely happy, and everything worked out wonderful. They bought it with a VA loan. So again, when people ask you, don't be quick to say, go out there and say, "Oh, it's doing wonderful. You could put your house on the market, put a sign in the front yard, and it's sold." Folks, it's not like that. If you see friends that think that the real estate market is like that, just stop them before they make a mistake, because in this market, Rob, I see a tremendous lot of people making mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
They think that the market is all great and dandy, and they put a for sale sign out there, and the reality is the only people that are going to call you are realtors.
That's a good point.
A buyer's not going to call you from that open house sign or from that for sale sign. All you're going to get is a bunch of realtors calling you. And, there's nothing bad, about an agent, whether it be a realtor or that has to abide by the realtor, Association of Realtors Code of Ethics, or a real estate agent. I would rather you work with a realtor, but there's nothing bad. Everybody's got to make a living, but the reality is, you want to work with someone that has, experience and that has your best interest at heart. You don't want to get this false sense of security and feeling great about the home sale process when all you're having is realtors calling you, trying to tell you that your home is great. And if you ask any of them, line up 20, they're all going to tell you a different price. That's a red flag, folks. That's when you sit there and you call us and you get us on your side to represent you and make sure that you're being fed the honest truth.
All right, very good. The phone lines are open at 855-297-9696, 855-297-9696, or 21232 on the text feature, 21232, or go to the all-new News 96.5 app, and you could send out a shout to Dad on the open mic feature. You could use the open mic feature also to ask a question of Andrey Bustamante. Margaret, how can we help you today? And I hope you're having a great day. Margaret, are you there?
I'm here, yes.
Go ahead.
I have a question for Andrey. My husband and I would like to buy a home for our son, and we're wondering how we should title the home, in our name or his, for us being liable for it. I mean, we're not worried about getting any funds back at any point. We're just wondering how we should.
Are you going to be getting? Are you getting a mortgage on it, or are you paying cash for it?
It'd be cash.
Okay. I would probably put your name on it as well.
Mean his name and ours?
Yeah, I would probably put it under both of your names. But again, I'm not an attorney, so it all depends really on what type of protection. I mean, do you guys have other assets and other things that you want to protect?
Well, yeah, that's what we're worried about, being liable if something happens and it's in our name.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's a bunch of different ways that you can hold title to a property. Obviously, if there's assets that you want to protect, you may want to put it in a trust, or may want to put it in a corporation, or just put it in his name. Mm-hmm. What I would recommend that you do is, if you guys are in the market right now to buy him a home, mm-hmm. give me a call off the air. I'll get you in touch with our title company, as well with Fidelity National Title, which actually sponsors the show. And I will get you in touch with Sherry DeWitt. She's an awesome attorney, actually does a show prior to us.
Okay. Okay.
And she'll give you all the different perspectives of, how you should hold title, what the pros and the cons are. I think they're probably better to answer this question for you.
Yeah, I do have an appointment with an attorney. It's Tuesday, just to ask some general questions. But I always listen to y'all's show, and I thought, well, maybe you all can answer my question without me going to an attorney. But
well, you don't really have to go to an attorney. You could simply just call Sherry. But if you want to go ahead and leave your name and number with our producer, I would gladly call you after the show and get you in contact with them. A 15, 20-minute consultation over the phone with our attorney. It's free, and I guarantee you'll certainly get a lot of value from it.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the things you might want to think about, Margaret, that's come up on the show, I'm not the expert here, but I can relay what some of the calls have been like over my 30 years sitting in this chair, and that is many people have called that maybe had a son that they bought a house for, or a daughter, or a younger couple, and then came up the question of what would happen if tragically something happened to that couple. Where would the house go? And, having to spend years in litigation and, going through the court process after someone dies, not really pleasant. So they have advice on how that home could be either titled or somehow owned so that there's not a lot of probate problems. So, get with an attorney, get with Sherry DeWitt, and see what you can get done. If you'd like her phone number, if you're standing by, I'll gladly give you her number right now. And that is at her office. It is 1-800-339-4885, 1-800-339-4885. And, of course, Andrey Bustamante. You can always contract Andrey anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 888-785-0440, 888-785-0440, AndreyBustamante.com. AndreyBustamante.com. Okay, quick question for you in the 30 seconds we've got before the break.
Absolutely.
What if Jane Smith out there is just all excited that her sister just got her real estate license and she wants to give her house listing to her sister?
It depends on whether you like your sister or not, and whether or not you want to speak to her, 6 months from now. I always encourage people, and, experience tells that you never want to mix business with family or business with friends. It's hard. The reality is about 50%, if not more, of houses that go on the market never sell. Matter of fact, I have a case right now where we're going to be selling the house for this couple. So the gentleman hires his sister-in-law to sell their house. Can you imagine how hard that is, Rob, to tell your sister-in-law that you have to see at every single family function, hey, listen, you're no longer my realtor. You've had the home for a year. If not, I think it was like 2 to 3 years. She had.
Just put yourself in that position today. If you've got any relative that you know of that's in the real estate industry and they're coming over for Father's Day, or you're going to the same function, how would you like to face them a year from now and look at them and say, you've had a sign in my front yard, and it's really nice that we get together on weekends and water ski and stuff, but you going to sell my house anytime soon? It becomes a real bone of contention. It's like borrowing money from relatives. Don't ever do it. It's a mistake, and you'll pay for it forever because you just don't get along after that.
You definitely don't. If you try that with friends, you could certainly lose or risk losing that friendship. You do that with family, that's going to tarnish that relationship. So I highly encourage get a professional. Our office is available. We have a team of professionals that do this, and we actually have a system that sells houses quicker and for more money. There's really no reason why anybody should be listing their houses with anyone else, let alone selling them with anyone else.
All right, very good. We are going to take a break right now. We got time for your questions or your text. You can go ahead and text us at 21232, or you could call us at 855-297-9696. That's 855-297-9696. Or you could always, try this on for size. Go to our new app, be one of the first people to get on there on the open mic feature, and just go, Andrey, I need some help. My house has had the same sign in the front yard for 9 years, and the HOA's mad at me. All right, we'll take a break right now.
We'll be right back.
I just want to say happy Father's Day, Kenny. I love you. You're a great dad, and I really appreciate everything you do for us.
How cool is that? You can do that for your dad. I bet he'd get the thrill out of that, hearing his name on News 96.5 and your voice. And it's as easy as going on the new News 96.5 app and just press open mic and it starts recording. You'll see a little like you're recording in a studio. And when you're done, you just press done and it comes right to us. It's a very cool thing. Andrey Bustamante.
Thank you, Rob.
What's up, bud?
So, it's something really, really, really cool that we just came out with this past week. I was sitting at home watching the World Cup, and I'm sure all eyes are on the World Cup. I believe USA, I believe, plays tomorrow. We have a highlight of games going on today. Colombia won 3-0 yesterday. I am Colombian, so I'm very, very happy about that. Woohoo! And we're actually planning a trip to Brazil. And it's interesting. This morning I was seeing an article. So Brazilians make their mark on Florida and beyond. As all eyes turn to Brazil for the World Cup, Brazilians in the U.S. are all gaining notice. According to the U.S. Census, more than 325,000 people of Brazilian ancestry now call the U.S. home. But experts actually put the number much, much higher. I have a lot of friends that are from Brazil. I played soccer with Brazilians growing up, and it's just an awesome culture. So the fact that the World Cup is there, all eyes truly are in Brazil. I was talking to my wife and my brother and our business partners, and I said, you know what? Let's go out there ourselves. What an unbelievable way to market our real estate. There's actually business that's being handled out there, believe it or not. And it's a great opportunity to go out there. So if anybody has a unique property that you're looking to get marketed overseas to Brazilian investors, and what's cool about the Brazilian culture is they'll actually come here. They're not just buying it for strictly investment purposes. They're buying it because they're going to occupy it probably 2 or 3 months out of the year when they bring their kids over to Disney, and a lot of them are paying cash. So if anybody has a unique property that you want us to take with us, as part of our portfolio and market, we will be in Brazil. We're probably leaving around the 23rd to the 24th and coming back the first week of July. So Rob, you may have to be running the show here solo while I'm away.
Bring your team in.
Yep, that's what we would do. We'll have our inspectors, our title company, our lenders. We will have them all in. I certainly hate missing the show because I have so much fun. And one thing, I really do want to appreciate all the listeners here of News 96.5 WDBO. I learn so much from everyone here. Most people would probably say, oh, well, Andrey's there and he's teaching and he's giving his advice every week. But the reality, Rob, I learned so much from you.
Really?
I learned so much from all of our listeners that come to my office each and every week, just all the amazing people that I meet. So I appreciate you. I thank you for your business. Our family thanks you for your business. And overall, just, a huge thanks.
Cool.
For positively impacting my life.
Well, one of the things that we did kind of brush over right there is that the team. And Andrey Bustamante brings with him to you an entire team of people. These are the area's finest when it comes to appraisals, inspections, title, Fidelity Title. There's none bigger and there's none better. And so you're not just getting Andrey Bustamante and the marketing and the phenomenal worldwide reputation he's got, but you're also getting an entire team of people that he picks up the phone and calls immediately, and they are at your property. It's really cool.
There's a buddy of mine, and I stole his line, right? So he says, I'm not the smartest kid in the class, but I always sit next to him. And what we've done with our team of experts here is we've assembled, like you just said, we've assembled the absolute leaders in the industry. So I don't really care to know everything. I mean, it's nice to know a lot of different things, and I wish I was like, I would love to be like Rob when I grow up.
Oh, hey.
So well versed in all different things, but one day I'll aspire to be like Rob. But up until then, for the time being, I'm just going to surround myself with people that know it and know everything when it comes to their respective fields.
The cool thing is you're like Coach Shula, and I've known Coach Shula for a lot of years. And one of the things he told me after he retired was, I said, what made you the best in the game? And he said, I was surrounded by the best assistant coaches in the game. I didn't know everything. I let them, assemble their talents, and this guy on defense and this guy on offense, this quarterback guy. And he said, we worked as a team.
Yeah.
He said, now I'm the guy that gets all the accolades, but he said, it's a team effort.
Together,
Everybody does
everyone achieves more.
Darn right. Ooh,
So, man,
I like that. Say that again, team.
Together, everyone achieves more. Team.
You hear that? All right, Andrey Bustamante, let me give you the number. It's 888-785-0440. Imagine all of your real estate problems solved with one phone call. 888-785-0440. Call the number that's going to get you respect to get you results. All right, 888-785-0440. Andre with a Y, AndreyBustamante.com.
We'll see you all next week. Thank you so much. Happy Father's Day.